How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews, back with science. We're here for science today. We have some homebrew, but it's a little bit of a unique homebrew, so bear with me. A lot of words, a lot of explanation. How is it any different than any of my other reviews? I don't fucking know. Anyway, yeah. What's today? It's April 20th. So we figured we had a beer sitting in our fridge for, about a month now, and we thought it would be apropos to try today, and it's some homebrew. But this is a special kind of homebrew, and that it is brewed and made with weed. Weed, yes, weed, I wouldn't even call it the cousin of hops, the almost, not identical twin, kind of fraternal twin of hops. A lot of our newer hops today, the new school hops, your New England hazy hops, pretty much come from the weed world. And then a lot of the people that have crossbred and growing like all kinds of different strains of weed kind of paved the way for how we do that with hops. So we kind of had a little bit of a long-term experiment. Short yet long-term experiment today with this beer right here. Like I said, it's a homebrew. It's a 6 and change New England style IPA with some New England hazy kind of hops, a little Galaxy, a little Mosaic, but it also contains THC. So yeah, it was actually brewed normally, and some THC liquid was added during fermentation. So it is a weedy beer. So yeah, these kind of thing would be totally illegal to sell in the United States, just because you're not allowed to do that with the classification of what weed is. Even though with some of the legalization in and around the country, it's still, I believe, you're not allowed to put digestible or whatever THC in a beer. You can brew a weed in those states, but I don't think you can actually put it in beer. I could be wrong. The laws could be changing too fast for me to keep up. But in my state of Pennsylvania, it's definitely a medicinal thing. So unfortunately, I couldn't do this at home. So I got in the Massive Beer Review submarine, and we went to our satellite location, which is 300 miles southwest of Fiji. I know, it looks pretty much the same. I have identical studios, what can I say? So we went out there to test this experiment out, because the last thing we would want to do is to break any laws in the grand United States of America. So here we are, international waters, about to crack this open, see what's what. So yeah, first things first, it's homebrew. Like I said, clear bottle, not much to it. It's actually super hazy inside. It's supposed to be, homebrew New England style IPA. Like I said, 6 and change % alcohol by volume. I actually have the information right in front of me here. It basically says it is let's see, 6.7% New England Mosaic, Galaxy, and Bubblegum Weed IPA. Yeah, and like I said, it was liquid THC in the brew during fermentation. So that's all the information I have on it. Let's just crack it open and see what happens. Now, this is going to differ a little bit from your normal Massive Beer Review, because what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to crack it open. I'm going to drink it. Probably not all of it on camera, but I'm going to, pour it, review it like I would a normal beer, and then kind of probably bounce out and drink the whole thing, and then come back maybe at periodical kind of intervals to kind of give you update on whether or not this thing actually does anything to me and whatnot. Anyway, super juicy from here. Getting tons of orange juice. The pour itself, just a hair over 2 fingers. Infinite creaminess. It looks really nice, actually. Really nice, tight, compact bubbles. And, there be haze in those hills. I mean, it looks like you would see from a legit professional brewer, kind of hazy New England style IPA. So she looks the part so far. Let's even get a nose on her. Nose is pretty big. Head is pretty big. Doesn't look like it's going anywhere soon. So let's give her a huff, see what she's got. Wow, that smells pretty good, actually. Yeah, I'm getting tons and tons of citrus out of here. It's a pineapple meets orange kind of vibe. A little bit of like tangy. A little bit of like what's that other thing that orange drink that everybody likes so much, the kids crush over. But very tangy, but not too bad. Not Capri Sun. What was the other one? God damn it, I'll think about it. But yeah, tons of citrus. A little bit of like weedy dankness, which I believe is coming from the actual hops, not the actual THC itself. Nice sweetness to it, nice brightness to it. It smells actually really good. I mean, all things considered, if I'm kind of sitting here and I'm just kind of reviewing this as a base beer, I'd be pretty fucking excited about it. Yeah, bright, very fruit juicy, but it's very on the sweet side. Like I said, it's got that kind of orange Julius kind of mixture thing going on there. Tang to the max, but not in a bad way. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, she smells like a New England style IPA, skewing definitely on the sweet side. So let's see what she tastes like. Cheers. Okay. Nowhere near as sweet as I thought it would be. I mean, that nose was very sweet. Very sweet. Like I thought I was going to get a big, huge smack across the mouth of just a super over-the-top sweet, kind of orangey kind of thing going on. But that's not actually there. What I'm getting is more like hop weedy kind of dankness with a bit of that kind of fruit juiciness on the side. Actually, they're both pretty much in balance. Nice sweetness to it, but not overly sweet by any means. Enough bitterness kind of bounce off that. That bitterness has a very kind of weed kind of like character to it. And like I said, I'm pretty much basing that off of it actually being from the hops itself, not actually from the THC extract. When the person actually gave me this information, said liquid THC, it could be hop oils, it could be a couple other things. So I'm not sure how much that would impart in kind of flavor or aroma in a beer. But I'm getting those kind of danky, hazy, almost like extra dry hopped kind of weedy, danky kind of vibes to it. Nice mouthfeel. Thought it was going to be a little bit denser, based off of the look. But yeah, not too shabby of a homebrew. Yeah, tasty. Not too crazy. Pretty damn good shot at doing a New England style IPA for whoever made it. I actually don't know who made it. All I know is it kind of came proxy through somebody else. But I would call them right now. But when you're in, 300 nautical miles southwest of Fiji, international calls cost a lot of money, so it's going to be really hard to do that. So yeah, no. As a homebrew goes, really nice beer, really tasty. Hits the mark of what people really desire in a New England style IPA. Yeah, definitely not double IPA. That's pretty much it. Yeah, pretty good stuff. One of the better homebrews I've had trying to be like a New England style IPA. So I guess that's it for round one. What I'm going to do, like I said, cut this off. We'll come back later on. I'm not sure how long, maybe half an hour or so, and I'll give you a kind of clue you in to see if this beer is actually affecting me in any form or fashion. To see if this actually works as something that people might be doing. Obviously they're doing it in the homebrew world, but something moving forward when the laws aren't as archaic. See if it's a viable kind of thing for delivery of such a thing. I'm not going to drink any more beers. I'm just going to drink this one beer, and that's it. I don't want any kind of outside influence as far as what I feel and what's going on. So yeah, there it is for round one. I'll be back in an undetermined period of time, and then go from there, and I'll let you guys know what's what. So yeah, see you in a bit. And we're back. It's been like an hour since I actually finished the beer. And I gotta say, kind of works. I don't think it's a placebo effect. I definitely feel much more relaxed. Nothing too crazy, but at the same time, I definitely don't feel like I would normally feel after just drinking one beer. I definitely had a couple of potato chips too, or tortilla chips. I actually don't eat potato chips, but I love salsa. Me rambling about salsa might have something to clue you in on what's what, but yeah, no, I mean it's an interesting kind of thing to take in, because it's it's not something I don't normally do. I actually don't smoke weed. It's not one of my things. It just makes me lazy, and it makes me just want to watch TV and not do anything, and that kind of annoys me. But it's not like I'm foreign to it. You know what I mean? I've partaken in the past. And it's definitely something that I don't look down on. I hope. Well, I shouldn't say hope. I'm very excited for when it becomes legal, because I actually view it as much more safer and much more just across the board safer than alcohol. Actually, you know what I mean. Anything in moderation is fine. Anything, well, maybe not crack or crazy hard drugs, but anyway, almost anything in life, anything in moderation is fine. When you overdo anything, you drink too much water, you can eat too much protein, you can drink, you know what I mean, too much alcohol, you can drink too much whatever. So, you know, anything in excess is not good. But in the grand scheme of things, you know what I mean, as far as I would guess you would say drugs go, when you compare weed to alcohol or tobacco or to, God forbid, you actually compare it to like opiates and stuff like that, these pills that all these people are taking to turn them into heroin addicts, it's far and away a much more positive thing than a negative thing. But to actually see it and try it and drink it in a beer, to see that it would actually work is pretty cool so far. Like I said, definitely don't think it's a placebo effect thing happening for a couple of reasons. One, like I said, I definitely cracked into some salsa and some chips. And two, I actually didn't want to do this. I didn't want to come back upstairs. I was watching some TV and I was like, I'm comfortable. I'm like, I just don't want to get up and do anything. And I was like, oh man, you know, can feel that kind of overall relaxation. Now, it's been several years since I've actually eaten any kind of weed or marijuana-based things, and I know that it's much more of a physical kind of, you know, body kind of vibe when it comes to that, as opposed to something when you typically would smoke it. So to actually ingest it in that way is interesting. The only questions I have, though, is the actual like physics of how it works. You know, with you know, THC in the liquid form, because from what I know, and again, this is me being very uneducated on the subject, because it's not something I'm into, just had the opportunity to kind of do this, and it marries with the beer thing that I do, is that it I've always heard it referred to as oils, and to me water and oil are not soluble, and they kind of don't mix. So is this a thing where it actually can be soluble inside beer or alcohol or something like that? I don't know. So I don't know if there's like a rhyme or reason to like the dosages you would get from something like that. Like if you were to actually brew a batch of it and then ferment it out and then bottle it, would you be getting equal parts in each portion, or would it kind of be like oil and vinegar? Excuse me. And kind of separate, and maybe you get one that's super loaded and one that doesn't have much at all. I don't know the facts. I don't know the science about that. But what I do know is I had a tasty beer. Pretty damn good homebrew. One of the better ones I've had as of late. And yeah, I'm chilling. You know, things do not suck right now. I'm relaxed. It's a beautiful day out. I take my dogs for a walk. We'll probably not do that. I'll probably just sit on the couch and watch some crazy TV or something like that. But yeah, about an hour in, so I figured I'd do a quick update and give it another hour or so. See if anything changes. See what's what, and come back, and then maybe that'll be the end of it. Kind of cap it off with that. But yeah, definitely a cool experience so far. So yeah, that's it for round 2. We'll be back in a bit. And we're back. It's been a little bit over 3 hours now since I had the beer. And, yeah, to be honest with you, I don't think anything's gotten kookier or crazier or more intense. Actually, it feels like things have kind of settled down a bit, but it's probably more me getting used to any kind of effects I had from the beer, if anything. So, it's not that things have worn off. It's just a little bit more familiar, I guess you would say. But yeah, still like infinitely relaxed. Way more relaxed than I typically am. You know, on camera, I come off as, you know, kooky and whatever. And try to joke around a lot, but I'm pretty stressed out dude. So, yeah, definitely going to be in for an easy night of TV watchings and relaxings and stuff like that. And might actually enjoy a beer now. Yeah, but all in all, it's a fun experiment. Listen, this is a review channel. I typically come on here And I talk about beers that people can get. Obviously, this is not something you get. You'd have to actually make it yourself if you wanted to procure something like this. But all in all, I thought it was just a fun experiment to do. I was given a bottle of beer, and it was so close to April 20th that I thought it would just be a kitschy, fun thing to do. Yeah, and it's a cool experiment. I actually think it actually has a viable place in some kind of context, whether it be recreationally, whether it be people who cannot actually smoke or prefer not to eat or something like that, basically have allergies or something. I don't know where the kind of future holds for things like with marijuana or more specifically THC in beer, whether, like I said, whether it's medicinal or recreational. That's not for me to judge. Well, maybe the recreational part, but yeah, it was a fun little experiment to do. Thank you very much for the people that hooked me up with a bottle of beer, and thank you very much for watching this and kind of watching a little experiment of things. You know, it was fun. It was enjoyable. It was relaxing. It was a really good beer. That's the thing about it. Usually when you're talking about kind of quote-unquote gimmicky beers like this, typically the beer's kind of lost in the shuffle. And all that stripped aside, it was one of the better homebrews I've had in a while. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Let's recap here. Do homebrew beers taste delicious? Most more times than not, they do. I think they do. THC in beer, is it a viable thing as far as recreational and medicinal? I think both. Do you know what I mean? Going forward, I could see this being used in either end of the spectrum. And 3, what's it like in Massive Beer Reviews, 300 miles southwest of Fiji? It's fucking beautiful. It's nice. It's beautiful outside. The Galapagos Islands or whatever the hell's out there, and I'm gonna enjoy my time here in international waters, and then head back to the States and leave these illegal tidbits behind and be the upstanding citizen I am. So there you go, a fun little experiment for what I think moving forward is a drug that will be laughed at. As far as its illegality in the past, and moving forward, probably something that in the very far future, I would imagine, probably will replace a lot of things, even booze, for both fun and purpose. So hopefully, you guys enjoyed this little experiment as much as I did. If you have any comments, if you want to start a dialogue about it and move forward and see what's what as far as if there's anything to gain from any of this, then that'd be a great discussion to have. Value and availability, I usually go through that part. Well, we're not going to skip all that and talk about if it's a good beer or not, and just skip to the end, which is hopefully you guys enjoyed the part. Hopefully you enjoyed the little thing here, and hopefully see you next time. Cheers.